Both Danielle and I have clumsy CP hands this morning, you guys. So you get what you get. I mean, those of us functioning on 6 hours of sleep, and Danielle's already been up since 6 a.m. So, and we'll get to that in a minute. Why? But welcome to the artwork of CP, everyone. Today we're going to try our hardest to produce an episode without CP getting in the way. And we're going to talk about CP and health and how we keep ourselves healthy. That is what we're doing here. And so, surprisingly, I am on, and I don't think Danielle is on any medications for CP. And surprisingly, I was on medication for CP that ended up being a disaster. And so I got help weaning myself off. That was back in 2006 to 2009. Yeah, because my mom passed away right in 2010. So, and the medication I was on is called Baclofen, and they typically use it for people with CP. Well, when you take a medication for so long, the side effects of that medication start showing up. And so I would rather deal with CP holistically than deal with CP under medications. So what I'm on right now, and I'll admit this publicly, what I'm on right now, let me just stop the emails. And what I'm on right now is a multivitamin, a vitamin D. And I am taking zinc. I am taking echinacea to support the immune system. I'm not taking zinc. I am taking a birth control pill. Yes, I'm on birth control. And we'll get to why in a minute. And then I am taking a pill for my osteoporosis. Yes, we'll get to why in a minute there. And then I am taking a pill for just multivitamins, women's multivitamins in general. But other than that, I am incredibly healthy despite my allergies kicking my butt. Yesterday, I finally called a friend of mine. That happens. Yes, I have two registered nurses in my life that can help. And I happened to call one of them because I was coughing up, and I know this is too much TMI, but I was coughing up green phlegm. And my biggest fear is getting pneumonia. My biggest fear is getting pneumonia because of double weakened lungs. And I forgot, I'm on a Advair disc for asthma, but that's between the birth control and the Advair disc. That's the only prescription medication I'm on, and it's not necessarily due to CP, it's due to underlying conditions. And well, the underlying condition was my period. I was one of those types that would bleed through the pens and bleed through pads and lose and become anemic. And so that's hence why I'm on birth control. I'm not sexually active. And so it's to level out the period. It's a level altitude, and that's the only reason why I'm on birth control. The only reason why I'm on low dose steroid for asthma is because I have a moderate asthma. And for those of you who have been listening to the artwork of the CP a long time, and I believe Ask When, we did an episode while I was still in Aspen about me getting diagnosed with asthma, and of course, wheezing has definitely stopped in Phoenix, Arizona. I think it had to, and believe it or not, the well, believe it because it's true. The lower altitude of Phoenix, Arizona has helped CP tremendously. So that is a good thing. But the only, but I try not to take as many medications as I can because medications and me don't mix. I do better with the untraditional stuff, and then I do better with the echinacea, which is untraditional, and then I do better with the untraditional stuff rather than the Western medicine. Yes. And even though I have CP and even though I got COVID, my lungs are perfectly fine from the COVID spill. I didn't get, and thank God I didn't get long haul COVID. I didn't get long haul COVID. My lungs were perfectly fine. I was able to recover at home, as you guys know. Now, granted, do I have a plan on going into the hospital if I need to? Have I picked my hospital out here? Yes. Will I announce that publicly? Yes. My hospital of choice happens to be the Mayo Clinic because the Mayo Clinic is at the top of their class and everything they do. And I am lucky that I have a Mayo Clinic, which a lot of people fly out here to do medical treatments, or they fly up to Rochester, Minnesota, the original Mayo Clinic, or they fly to Jacksonville, Florida, to there's another Mayo Clinic out there. But I am lucky enough to have one of the top teaching hospitals and clinical hospitals 5 minutes away from me, if that, 5 minutes away from me. So yeah, I will be using them if I get into serious trouble, where I need help, where I mean my agency who has asked me, where do you want to go? If you get into serious trouble, I will say the Mayo Clinic or have someone on my behalf say the Mayo Clinic because when it comes to my health, I am not messing around. I have experienced too much small town hospital loss. Yeah, small town hospital loss with both my parents and my mom and dad. Dad was a worse case than mom because when dad barely crawled in to the ER, driving myself to the ER, that was a good one, then the knows all that. But that was a good one. I called her, I'm like, I can't do this. So I called her in the middle of the day as soon as we found out. But when he walked into the ER not being able to breathe due to the mass on his lungs, his kidneys were failing. his kidneys were failing. So due to Advil, due to massive amounts of Advil, and they say to switch between Advil and Tylenol. I don't even take that stuff, let alone switch. I don't even take the stuff, let alone switch. So I do better with the holistic belt than I do I do a 50-50 split between the holistic route and the Western medicine route, which has kept me alive for 35 years, despite my weekend ones. And yes, I am dealing with allergies that are kicking my butt. And of course, that didn't help when I started coughing green phlegm up. And so, yeah, I called my friend who's a nurse and said help. And basically, because unfortunately my doctor was out of town yesterday on technically on vacation. But and I'm lucky enough that I have a mobile doctor that can come to me. House calls, yes. I'm old school. Yes, doctors don't do that anymore. But when I got diagnosed with COVID, I actually got diagnosed with a bacterial infection before getting diagnosed with COVID. She came to me, diagnosed me with that, and then said, "You need to go get a PCR test." The PCR test actually came to me. So, and then I got stuck in bed for the month of January. But since, and that was a real wake up call because I thought, well, I thought that for some random reason, I believed like everyone else does and did. I believe that once you're vaccinated and once you're boosted, that your immunities to getting COVID are higher, but that's not true somehow. I picked up COVID in Phoenix, Arizona, yes, and I got stuck in bed in the month of January, and that was a little wake up call. Yes, I would have gone to the hospital, but I wasn't having any major symptoms. My lips weren't turning blue. I wasn't shortness of breath, typical to asthma. I wasn't major shortness of breath. When you're not on asthma medication, wheezing happens and all this stuff. But typical on the asthma shortness of breath, I did not have. I had people checking in on me every single day, including a nurse, including a nurse. So I had, even though I was in quarantine, I had my aides, and I had a nurse check in on me every single day and do that. So I should say pretty well. I was very well cared for, and I was um, extremely lucky that I was able to recover at home. And so basically, that was a real wake up call that yes, you need to take care more of your health than you were previously. And in the midst of a move, you can't necessarily take care of your health. I mean, maybe you can, but I can't. So in the midst of a move, yeah, but I got COVID and haven't had COVID since. But if I get it again, I know the protocol. And then, yeah, I think you're on the same regimen that I am, using Western medicine and holistic medicine.
Yeah. Um. Uh. 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 Yeah. Uh. Uh. uh, uh, to the is the my you the made
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you had that, and a lot of doctors, those who are in a holistic field, can custom make medicines for people. And I I actually need to find a holistic doctor down here. Danielle, you reminded me. I actually need to find a holistic doctor. And yeah, Danielle reminds me because she's good about that stuff. But I actually need to go with the traditional doctor and the holistic doctor myself because that's the way I roll and that's the way now. But I have had so much stuff taped to me over the years. And when I say taped, when I say taped, I mean taped on and kept on. So that is why one of the reasons why, because I was so sick as a child, I that is one of the reasons why I'm more likely to go with the holistic route than the traditional medicine route because although the doctor and the nurse prescribed me Mucinex yesterday, which surprised the heck out of me. They didn't prescribe anything more. And I think it's because the nurse was doing the vital signs. But it's just allergies that are kicking my butt. And the only, so welcome to adult allergies, those of us that have it, thank you very much. And so, yeah, welcome to adult allergies, and I'm staring at my Advil as we record this. I think I'm going to go take my Advil just so I'm not wheezing, which which I just so I'm on track with that because double weakened lungs, yeah, that's fun. Double weakened lungs, that's fun. And you get cerebral palsy, weak lungs, and then you get asthma, weak lungs. Yeah, that's fun. So we're going to let you guys go. I'm going to prepare for my next meeting, and we'll catch you guys next week. And maybe we have to do next week, you guys. Here's the plan. We're going to do a double episode on a thank you episode for both Ask, Win, and the artwork of CP because we didn't know that this little, I still can't believe it to this day. We didn't know that this little green monster was going to grow as quickly as it has. And even though we get a small little listener base on this show, it's still a listener base. So we're going to do a double episode on both feeds about thank yous because, yeah. And
Yeah.
you and I are going to come up with that because, yeah, that's the, yeah, and then we're going to thank you guys on both Ask Win and the artwork of CP for sticking with us and learning more and more about disabilities. And then the following week, I am going to tell you how I got my AIDS down here. How I got my AIDS down here and give you guys tricks. Those of you who are searching for AIDS, those of you who I need to give you guys tricks on how I do it because yeah, like Whitney, you're amazing. I don't know how you do all this stuff, but I need to give you guys my tricks, and hopefully my tricks will help you guys. So next week will be the thank you episode. The following week will be the finding of the AIDS episode. And so Danielle,
Yeah, you no, no, uh, uh,
thank you for following us. And you guys, if this is just a plant seed, but Danielle reminded me because of a shirt. If you want to donate a little bit of money at Christmas, yes, I'm already saying Christmas because that's the way I roll. And if you want to donate a little bit of money, there is, I'm giving you options. I'm giving you one, Challenge Aspen, which always needs your help. I love them dearly. Challenge Aspen always needs your help. And even though I'm down here, I will still be a champion for Challenge Aspen. And because Challenge Aspen got me up on snowboards and got me out possibly on skis. And then the other one down here, and I'll give Danny links to the other one is Camelot, which is a horseback riding program down here, which yours truly is using.
yeah, yeah, name.
Oh, you love the name. You love the name. Camelot. Yes, Camelot from the storybook is which yours truly is using, and we may, if we don't do the thank you episode, we may get into why I'm doing horseback riding, why there's a reason. And we can talk about horses next week. Actually, I changed my mind. Let's do the thank you episode the week after and talk about the passion of horseback riding next week so people know how you and I both do it. I mean, you and I both do it on two totally different tracks on that one. And so, yes, we do. And so we're going to talk about horseback riding, and then we're going to talk about the thank you episode, and then I'll do the AIDS episode because you guys need to know how I do the magical work I do and find my AIDS. But and so if you, and I'll give Dan the link to Camelot, and I'll also give a link to a program called Ability 360, which Ability 360 is, well, they have a program like Challenge Aspen, but Ability 360 is more how to deal with your disability, not how to deal with your disability gracefully. And I feel like Challenge Aspen over the years has turned into that, how to deal with your disability gracefully. Not necessarily to teach you, it's how to deal with your disability gracefully. So that being said, if you want to start thinking about donating to Camelot, to Challenge Aspen, or Ability 360, and I'll give Danielle links, you guys are more than welcome to that, especially Challenge Aspen, because to keep these programs up and running, yeah, it's not cheap, and it's not cheap. And I will always talk about Challenge Aspen, even though I'm 1,000 miles away, 10 hours away, slash 1,000 miles away from it now. But it is a wonderful program. Abilities 360 is a wonderful program. Camelot is a wonderful program just because it's therapeutic cost back money. So I'll give people the links. I'll give Danielle the links and you can stick it in the show notes. But thank you for following us. But I just wanted to add that piece in because Danielle reminded me of her shirt. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
So, yep. So that's that. And thank you for following us. And we'll catch you guys next week. All about horses next week. And then all about thank yous. And then all about finding names. And that's going to be an interesting subject about how I do it. And yeah. So, yep. And so thank you guys for following us. And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye, you guys.
Bye.